It is interesting that, yesterday there was this Mata and she was telling me that ever since I've been taught to be soul conscious, all day I try to see the light between the eyes and I just keep concentrating that, I'm the star between the eyes. And she says, I get a headache because I keep doing that all day. I'm just trying to see the light between the eyes. And she said that, Didi, I really have a bad headache because all day I'm just struggling with this. And then I told her, that is not soul consciousness. So she said, then what is soul consciousness? I want to understand, and it is beautiful that in today's Murli, Baba is asking us to be soul conscious. So what is soul consciousness? Soul consciousness is not just, seeing that you are a light between the eyes. But soul consciousness means knowing that you are a soul. And consciousness is an aspect of the buddhi. So, when a soul knows that I am a soul, then that soul is soul conscious. And what does it mean to know that you are a soul? So you see that in this world, people give a lot of importance, a lot of weightage to roti, kapda and makan. Yes, they say that, food is important, clothing is important, you need a house to stay. But why is roti, kapda and makan such a big thing, in this world? Because you're a body conscious soul. And when you're body conscious, you think about the body. You think about what the body needs. And you think that, because the body needs food, the body needs, clothing, and the body needs shelter. So you think that's the most important thing. And you see that these days people say that health is very important. Yes, and because, this is a time of diseases, and you think that you are a body, so you again start thinking that health is very important. That also comes from body consciousness. Or you think that, having a community is very important, and you start focusing on relationships because you think that people will help you. So you start living with that idea that you should build good relations in society so that people will help you sometime. But in spirituality, we understand that you are a soul and everything else is a byproduct of your spiritual stage. So even the body, the swasthya of the body is related to the swasthiti of the soul. So, whether the body is healthy will depend on whether you are soul conscious, whether you are in a good spiritual stage, and whether someone will help you or not will depend on your karma. It will all not depend on, who you have helped or who you have not helped, because maybe in your past lives you have helped 20 people and in your present life you have not helped anyone, but maybe that 20 will come to help you back or you will receive help. So again, in spirituality we understand that it's a game longer than you understand, and doing good is not about getting good from the same person. Sometimes you think that I will help my neighbor will help me. No, helping is a virtue. So, you help anyway. If you you do what you can, and you understand the true nature of help also, because helping somebody means making them self-reliant. So when you don't make somebody self-reliant, when you make them dependent, that's not helping. That's, doing a spiritual sin. So if somebody asks you for money, then and they look at you as a source of money, then you're not helping them by giving the money. But if you teach them how to earn for themselves and fend for themselves, that's help. So Baba says, you see that there's a lot of difference between how you think about everything when you are body conscious and how you think when you're soul conscious. Because consciousness is the basis of attitude. So your attitude towards everything, this is important, that is not important, this matters, that doesn't matter, this is valuable, that is invaluable, I should do this, I shouldn't do this. All of these questions are answered from your consciousness. So when you're body conscious, all of these things come up. So when you think you are a body, and so I sometimes, when people come for the course, I ask them, the body is made of 5 elements, and that's all the body needs. But you keep saying, I want peace, I want happiness, I want love, and then even if you get it, it's never enough. You want more, more, more. So who is that seeking love, peace, joy? Who is that one? And even purity, you want honesty, you want fidelity. All of these are aspects of purity. Or you want cleanliness, or you want, you want just integrity. You like that in a situation, you like that in a soul. So all of that, who wants it? So then they don't have any answer, because we don't understand that I am a soul seeking all of this. And then there is the body, which is, which is made of 5 elements, and the body needs that. But what we have not understood is properly, it is inside out. So, when I, the soul, am in my power, then the body, the relationships, the work, and everything around me is always fine. So Baba says that you have not identified the seed in the world. People don't know what the seed is. They are watering the flowers and the twigs and the branches, but they are not looking at the seed. So the seed is soul. And Baba says that you are a soul, and when you're soul conscious, you know that the first thing you have to pay attention to is that water yourself. And what is the water you need? You need to practice soul consciousness, you need to remember Baba, you need to be pure, and you need to do good karma. So these are the 4 things that Baba tells us about nurturing the soul. So when you're soul conscious, basically the difference that comes in your behavior is you're very interested in maintaining soul consciousness. You are very interested in prioritizing your peace, love, happiness, purity above everything else. Yes, you don't lose your peace and happiness after anyone or anything. You understand that you are very interested in conserving your peace, love, and happiness. You don't give it away because something on the external is not fine. So you value your peace more than your ego. You value your state of love more than right or wrong. You don't block your energy because somebody is wrong. You make these choices when you're soul conscious. And when you're body conscious, what do? You think that material pursuits are more important. And then you let go of, you don't check your feelings, or you don't check your thoughts, or you just let go of your state of peace and joy and love because you think that the material pursuit is very important. So if you don't get something, so there's this one brother, and he came and I asked him, so when you go to a meeting, how do you prepare? So he said, I prepare with a positive attitude. So I said, and what happens when something doesn't go right in that meeting? So, you suddenly sense that this person is not going to give me the contract. So he said, I feel like beating him up. So I said, then where is your positive attitude? So he said, what will I do with the positive attitude? I didn't get the contract. So you see that, you lose your happiness and peace at the drop of a hat. Now, if I ask that brother, so do you think that it is okay if I think that I will get every contract? I will not lose a single one? So he said, no, that's not possible. You can't get every contract, and getting every contract is also not good for you, most of the times. So I told him that when you know that this is not the rule, this is not the law, sometimes you will get it, sometimes you will not get it. Then why lose your happiness after that? So, when you walked into the meeting room, you were happy and you didn't have the contract, correct? That's the situation. But when you walk out of the room, you still don't have the contract, but you have lost what you took. That happiness is also lost. So you made yourself lose that which you took into the room. So that's not a good choice to make. So when you're soul conscious, you know that, you work. You're trying to crack a deal. You're trying to get work done. Okay, sometimes it'll get done, sometimes it won't get done. What happens when it doesn't get done? You try harder. Yes, that's all you can do. You do better next time. But in that whole process, don't let go of what you have. Don't lose your peace, your happiness, your state of, this loveful existence while that is going on. And then there is another thing, I'll tell you one incident. There was this one brother, and he once called the center, and he said, I'm a BK and I go to a center in some other part of the country, and I have a problem in Delhi, and could you solve that for me? So I said, you can share. If it is possible for me, we'll solve it. So he shared the problem, and it was possible for us to solve, and at that time I had the resources to do that, so we did that. And then that brother never called, and he never even called to thank that the problem was solved, but we were not expecting him to call also, and it was fine. And we were very happy that Baba's seva was done or whatever. And after 4 years, I'll tell you, I was in a situation, and it was that same brother who was the person who could help me. And I had not seen him, but he had seen me because he had contacted me. So he had seen me on YouTube, and also he told me in that situation, he told me, do you remember me? I'm that one you helped 4 years back, and I was there. And so I said, I don't recollect. So he said, no, I gave you this task and I told you, could you help me out with this? So I said, yeah, I remember a little. Then he said, okay, so Didi, the thing is, you are in this situation and I am the officer in charge and I can help you here. And he said, I remember what you did. And then, he went to that person concerned and he said, this sister helped me without knowing who I am. She never asked for any whereabouts. She never asked for anything. I didn't even thank her, but she never told me anything. So I do not trust that you can charge her of something. And that's how he pulled me out of that situation, and his word mattered in that situation. And I'm just giving you a very small example of, how sometimes Baba makes us realize that, goodness comes back. And you don't have to be nice or peaceful or happy or polite or kind or loveful because you want that other person to reciprocate. Every good deed is like a seed you sow, and those seeds, time waters them. So it's a very beautiful thing, that when you plant a seed, that seed fetches its own water. Have you seen that? If you just in a park you plant a seed, or somewhere you plant a seed, then somebody else would water it. Somehow that seed will convert into a plant. You take the first step. Even if you can't water the next, it's okay. You take the first step and trust that whatever you do will be rewarded. And this is the Karam Kshetra. And Baba says that in Karam Kshetra, the law is that whatever you do will come back to you. And it is not important, not necessary that it should come back from the same person who is concerned in this particular scene. But it will come back. That's the law. Yes. So Baba says this, and we must understand, this drama and be soul conscious. Now, what is soul consciousness? I am a peaceful, loveful, blissful, powerful soul. I am a pure soul. So let me be who I am while doing, while interacting, while communicating. Let me just be who I am. Let me not lose who I am. And how do I know what love looks like in action, what peace looks like in action? So, I'm Baba's child. And Baba is the ocean of all the qualities I have. And I see Baba conducting himself, through the Murli, through his words, through his Srimad. And I know how to conduct myself in a soul conscious manner. And Baba says it is very important to be soul conscious because, when you're not soul conscious, then Maya cheats you. And Maya makes you do a negative action in the name of doing a right action or a suitable action for the situation. So, just like we are convinced by Maya that if the deal is not cracked, then of course I'll get angry. Of course I'll get upset. Yes. So Maya has told us that, you can only be peaceful, loveful, blissful, happy when everything on the external is working right for you. So this is a very big thing that Maya, kind of programs us into or conditions us into. And Baba says, just know that I am a soul. Peace, love, purity, joy, bliss, power, these are my qualities. This is my inheritance. This is something I get from my Baba. This is something I'm taught by my teacher. And when my father is here, my teacher is here, my Satguru is here, then there is no reason why I should look outside for peace, love, joy or happiness or any of that stuff. So this is being soul conscious. And I also want to talk about, this. So I usually talk about the trap of fear that Maya sets for us. But today I would like to talk about the trap of attraction that Maya sets for us. And there was this brother who had come and he said, Didi, I lost a lot of money and I lost a lot of, I came into big trouble. And then he said, Didi, why? Because I bought into something that looked very attractive. I said, what is that? He said, a bank loan. So I said, okay, so would you like to share more? So he said, every time the bank people, they keep calling you and telling you that we are offering you a loan, we are offering you a loan, we are offering you a loan. And they keep telling you, we are offering you a loan in such a way that ultimately you get convinced that this is something good. And they're just offering you. So you don't even look at, sometimes you lose the sense of why is somebody offering you something. And you think that, you think that maybe it's for our benefit or something. But this is a world of Kali Yuga, and nobody does anything for your benefit. So, except God, nobody is doing anything for your benefit. And so everybody has a vested interest. But when somebody has a vested interest, they will lure you. Yes, they will always tell you that it is to your advantage that you buy this, you take this. And then said, I took a loan and then, those things didn't go fine. And then the bank is after me now and this and that. And then he said, what I'm trying to tell you is, I have come here with some experience of life that sometimes you are conditioned into doing something which at one point of time is not a good thing to do. You don't believe in it, but you start slowly believing in it because you hear it so many times and from so many people that you slowly buy into it, right? And you see that I gave you the example of a bank loan. Let's talk about, even this culture of bribe and, paying illegally and this. So, every time you are in trouble, you meet somebody, they will tell you, why don't you bribe this person? They'll take some money, they'll solve your issue. And then the word spreads and there are 10 other people you have to bribe. And it's a bribe trap. So, everybody is just asking for a bribe. And but what happens is every person you meet, not even every second person, every person you meet will tell you, this is how it works and who are you not to pay a bribe? Everybody pays a bribe. If you don't pay a bribe, things don't move here and you have to, you have to. And then you sometimes feel maybe I have to, but you don't have to. You don't have to. But what happens is, it's said so many times that sometimes it looks like the truth. And the way this world works these days is, anything that is said many times becomes the truth. So, in school you are trained to beat the benches and just, keep forcing or reinforcing that what I'm saying is right. And you are into a debate and then you win because of that. So, this is how the world is working. Everybody will tell you, this has to be done. Look about marriage, marriage is important, marriage is necessary, you have to get married. It is said so many times that sometimes you feel, yes, of course, why is marriage not important? Marriage is very important. Or, maybe having a child is very important, or even getting a job is very important. If I don't have a job, or if I'm not earning well, then, or if I'm not earning according to what people expect me to earn, then I'm a failure. So you buy into it, don't you? These are messages that are constantly given to you. Now, I'm not saying that don't earn, because that's not Shrimat. Baba says, earn your bread. That's Shrimat. But don't run after money. So, when you want to earn, what do? You make yourself qualified enough to earn. Yes, if you want to earn good money, learn the skills, develop the skills, get qualified enough to earn. You don't get a job by running after a job. You get a job by getting qualified for a job. Yes, and qualification is not about a degree. Qualification is about skill development. It's about know-how. And if you do that, then you will get a job. What's the big deal? So Baba says, don't give your money to any impure soul. And still, you keep listening to these messages, and then sometimes, you think maybe this is how it is done. But no. Listen to Baba. Yes, listen to Baba. And then, sometimes you think that the world tells you relationships are built through give and take physically, right? So if you, give somebody an unfair advantage, or, you give into their demands, or you do as they say, then you will have a good relationship with them. But will you? If you are very submissive and you just give in to somebody's demands, somebody is exploiting you, somebody is trying to, apply force or use their authority of power and trying to just, undermine you. And if you give in to that authority, will you be better off or worse off tomorrow? You will never be better off, because relationships are not built by giving into unfair demands. Relationships are built by radiating the right energy in that relationship. So, even if somebody is making undue demands or applying force or whatever, what do? You remember Baba and send that love to that soul. You remember Baba, and with your spiritual attitude, with your power of love, you settle that account spiritually. You will only aggravate the account by, giving into that force. So, when something is made to look, when you're not married, everybody will say that if you get married, you will only benefit. So, somebody will come, wash your clothes, cook your food, and this and that, and I don't know what else. And then they will keep telling you this will be great and that will be great, and life will be heaven, and then you will not even need to go to heaven, life will be heaven. And then they will show you all of these dreams, and then they will make it really attractive, because a lot of spending will happen and event managers will earn out of that, and it will be made to look so attractive. You will look like, okay, this is the best thing that's happening to me. But then later you realize it is all a farce. So why is somebody spending so much to serve you? No, nobody spends so much to serve you. They are serving themselves. So everybody, you are thinking they will wash my clothes, they will cook food for me, and they will take care of me. And that person is also thinking, oh, now I have a dishwasher, I have a person who will wash my clothes and cook for me, and they will take care of me. You think they will take care of me in illness, and they think they will take care of me in illness. And that's what's happening. This is how you fall into the trap, because it's made to look so attractive. It is always, and childbirth is made to look so attractive, and marriage is made to look so attractive, and having a job is made to look so attractive. But what happens after you have a job? You do the job. That's more difficult than finding a job. So and the thing is, you thought that getting a job is the end of your struggles. You didn't know that's the beginning of your struggles, and you're not prepared for it. Because everybody is telling you just get a job, and then after that you don't have a problem. But the problem starts there, and then you're not prepared for it, because you're not prepared to slog and learn and train and do all that stuff. So all these things which are made to look so attractive, and even taking a bribe, or finding a shortcut, or operating out of greed. It is made to look so attractive. So when you're greedy, you feel like having this or eating this or taking this is the best bet right now. So you think that, if I had this, then my life will be sorted, and you give into that greed. So Baba says that Maya really attracts you, and Maya will make something that is really, a swamp, in which once you put a foot, you just go downhill. That swamp is made to look very, very attractive by Maya. And every pothole you step into is because that pothole is made to look very, very attractive. Yes, and Baba says, it's not that, marriage is bad, childbirth is bad, though, but in Sangam Yuga, you have your energy to devote to something better. Yes, and this other thing is, if somebody has a marriage, has a child, then understand that it's not what it looks like. It is just, a karmic settlement, and you settle it. It's not as attractive as it was made to be. It is what it is, It's just a karmic settlement. You have had 63 births of karmic exchange, and now in some form of the other, that karmic settlement comes, and then you settle it. And again, don't go into the trap, that when this child grows up, then he will be the stick for the blind. These days, the general phenomena is the child gets ill earlier than the parent. So the child will need you as a nurse. He will not become a nurse for you. So usually that's how it's operating, because karmic settlements, so there is no bar of age, So, and there's this one Mata, and she tells me, when I got married, my mother-in-law used to sit on the table, I used to serve her food. And now my daughter-in-law sits on the table and I serve her food. So I have never, Didi, nobody served me food. So I said, come sit, I will serve you food. So if that's the whole issue, I can do that much for you. But don't worry about, who sits on the table. So then tomorrow you think, your grandchildren will make you sit on the table and serve food. So don't go into that trap. You understand that, you have to draw power from Baba and do what you have to do. But understand that this Sangam Yugi life is about two things. One is settling old karma, but more important than that, creating karmic credit for the future. So at this time, you have to pay attention to purity, to Baba's yoga and seva, and understanding Gyan and imbibing it so much that you become the king of kings in Satyug. So that is what is the truth. And Baba says, when you are soul conscious, when you're soul conscious, you imbibe the truth. And when you imbibe the truth, and you have your attitude towards people, places, things and events based on Baba's knowledge. So what is your attitudinal shift? So you look at, relationships are karmic settlement and an opportunity for seva. So, relationships are two things. One is karmic settlement, so you tolerate what you have to tolerate. And second is they are an opportunity for seva, so you also look at them as souls and serve them. So that's your attitude towards other souls. What is your attitude towards the body? This body is like the horse. You feed the horse and the horse takes you around. So, you have to take care of the body, and then this body will help you earn your Sangam Yugi fortune. What is your attitude towards events? anything that is happening is nothing new. So, it happens every cycle, doesn't mean anything, just cross it. So, don't interpret it, don't label it, just cross it. Yes, and then what is your attitude towards tolerance? So, in this world, Baba today is asking us to tolerate, and Baba says you have to tolerate. Don't have this negative attitude towards tolerance. And in this world, there is this attitude that I will not tolerate, and why should I tolerate? And tolerating is a bad thing, and tolerating is done by the weak. But Baba says no, tolerating is a power, tolerating is a weapon. So, tolerating, the power to tolerate is a weapon through which you finish your karmic accounts. So, Baba says, don't look at tolerating as something bad, because you see, 63 births of karma, they will come up through the body, through relationships, circumstances, or the play of nature. It will be too hot, too cold, so many things around. But you have to understand that with your power to tolerate, you are finishing all those accounts. So don't have this negative attitude towards tolerating, because Baba has told us that you will have to tolerate. So when you are soul conscious, then you imbibe knowledge. When you're soul conscious, when you remember Baba, then you understand what is what, and then you earn your reward for the future by doing good karma in the present, by being knowledgeful and powerful. And the second thing is, change your attitude towards tolerating. If you tolerate, even if somebody hurls insults at you, when you tolerate it and then you take the next step. What is the next step? Kind words, good wishes, good feelings, then that karmic settlement will be over. But if you don't tolerate, what will happen? They hurl insults, you hurl insults, and the cycle gets perpetuated. But if you tolerate in the right way, what is the right way to tolerate? You finish all the feelings that are surging inside you. So, when somebody is doing something, speaking badly, what happens? There is a whole wave of feelings that emerges. So just use your power to tolerate and extinguish that fire of negative feelings, and then emerge your loveful feelings, emerge your feelings of peace, and with that attitude, settle that karma and start a new relationship. So, don't play along. Don't go by what they are doing and reacting and aggravating. Don't start that vicious cycle. So Baba says that, you have to finish accounts, and this is how you do it. But the most important thing is, you are a soul. You are at the end of your journey. You are in the end of 84th birth. And here your only interest is conserving your energy and creating good karma so that you can go to Satyug and enjoy your fortune. So when you're soul conscious, then everything in knowledge you find valuable, because those points of knowledge are helping you settle your accounts and helping you create good karma. But those points of knowledge will only make sense when your aim is, I want to settle accounts, I want to create good karma, go to the future. But how do you come to that aim? By being soul conscious. So this is why soul consciousness is very important. And how do you develop soul consciousness? So first thing is, in the morning, sit and see yourself as a soul who has come from the soul world, whose father is Shiv Baba, and whose qualities are the 7 qualities, and whose aim is to be pure and go back. So just think about yourself as an energy with all these aspects and churn over this. Churn over the fact that you had a kingdom and you've lost it and now you want it back. And then all through the day, give more importance to your purity, peace, love rather than material loss and gain. And it is not said that don't try to have material gain, but do that from a place of peace and love and joy rather than from a place of emptiness and with this idea that I have to pursue it. Okay, Om Shanti.